What is going on, Movie Meals? Movie Meals. When this one airs, it should be the new year, right? This would happen on the New
Yeah.
Year's when we'll probably schedule this bad boy. Most anticipated, our top 10 most anticipated movies of 2023. I'm excited for this one. Um, we'll go back and forth here. Oh my goodness. We will I guess I'll start this one because I always make you start with the most with the other list that should be out before this, but we're
With
filming them back to
every
back here.
video ever.
Yep. I'm gonna take
Do
the
it, man.
reins here though. Um,
Let's count this down.
Two little honorable mentions: Cocaine Bear and Knock at the
Mm.
Cabin. I'm weirdly excited for Knock at the Cabin, but I'd put those at about 11 and 12. Cocaine Bear just looks like a wild time.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
before we get too far into thank you, Moomio patrons, Kimberly, Karen, go get some merch, all that stuff linked down below. But my number 10 is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I'm curious about it, and I'm excited. But what? You don't believe it belongs on the list?
I am shocked it's that low. On
Wow.
I'm surprised it's at 10. I'm surprised it's at
Well,
10. That's
don't
all I'm
make
gonna
a
say.
bad fourth movie, my guy. uh, but yeah, that's my number
Yeah,
10.
yeah.
What's your number 10? Most
John Wick Chapter
anticipated.
4.
See, I'm
John Wick
surprised
Chapter 4.
that's that low. Come on. We're
I
talking
mean,
about a trilogy unlike any other.
it
Huh.
is a great trilogy, great series of movies. I'm excited
Wow.
for this fourth one. That's obviously why it's in the top 10. But, when it comes to these lists, usually it's like blockbusters that we're talking about. We don't really know about like indie projects or mid budget projects yet. But when it comes to blockbusters, surprisingly, there's a good amount that I'm kind of more anticipating for than John Wick. But I'm still hyped for it. I think that's going to be cool.
My number 9 is Creed 3. Very excited for Creed 3. Excited for Jonathan Majors. The man's working his
Mm.
butt off. Yeah, I'm just pumped. I need to rewatch both Creeds just because it's been so long and they should be in the rotation every year. But I am very excited for Creed 3. What do you have at number 9?
My number 9 is Shazam Fury of the Gods. I adore the
Didn't even
first
make my
movie.
list.
Yeah, I get why. Out of all the DC projects, it's not like the biggest of projects, but like I said, the first one I just adore. I
Love
liked
the
what
first one, yeah.
message it had, and I'm hoping it continues the same with the sequel. Despite many people being like, "Oh, what's the point now that James Gunn ruining everything? Fire him!" It's well, I don't know. Maybe because the first movie is a good time, and I'm hoping the second one is.
And even
So there you
Zachary
go.
Levi was like, "Hey, I had some meetings and I don't think I'm done with this character at one point," which
Ooh.
would make sense because if he's just playing the adult version, it doesn't really matter if it's a reboot or not for him as the actor. But anyway,
Yeah.
my number 8 is John Wick Chapter 4.
Mm.
Little bit higher than Kyle, but I am pumped. The John Wick trilogy is legit one of the best trilogies we've ever had. It's so good. Everything they do just seems like gold at this point, so I'm pumped for it. What's your number 8?
My number 8 is Creed 3. I'm really anticipating Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut. I am loving Jonathan Majors right now as an actor. I am so excited to see him pop off on many big movies such as this one. And I'm just curious on what the direction of this character is going to go now that we're kind of moving away from Sylvester Stallone being involved with the project and it kind of being Michael B. Jordan's whole thing by the sounds of it. So I just want to know what's coming up next for it, and hopefully it'll be good.
My number 7 is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. I'm always excited for what Tommy Boy's got locked and loaded for some stunt. I have it a little bit lower than I feel like I should just because I think Mission Impossible has gotten to the point where it's just you don't think about it and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, Mission Impossible's out? I'm going to go be blown away today. Like, it's kind of like that. So I'm
Mhm.
very excited for it. But yeah, what do you got at number 7?
You're gonna hate me for this one, but it's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
That's low.
Yeah,
It's
I knew
low,
that one.
Kyle.
I knew that
It's
was the one that you
low.
were gonna. I
It's
knew I was gonna get
low.
this.
Wow.
It may be
You
low.
hate Spider-Man. You just hate him.
Clearly,
There's no
I've never
other
liked him.
option. Wow. That's a little
Uh,
low. A little, not a top fiver is a bit whack, especially because I have a feeling I know what's coming.
yeah,
So,
yeah, for sure. But that doesn't mean I'm still not excited for this movie. Obviously, I just love this animation style. I love what the first movie's message was, and I'm just hoping to keep being surprised by what they do in this next movie, like I was with the first one.
Wow,
It's
that's
low. I
low.
know. I know.
I've got number 6, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And
Mhm.
for a lot of people, that's probably low. For me, it might even be a bit high because I do not think the second Guardians is very good. I think it's okay. I think the first
It's
one's
great.
amazing, but I do think this trailer has sold me enough to get it where I've got it here. I am curious to see who's going to die. How are we going to move forward with this story? How is Gamora going to work in? So that's where I've got Guardians of the Galaxy, just barely outside the top 5 most anticipated. What do you got at number 6?
My number 6 is Blue Beetle. It has our boy Zolo from Cobra Kai in it, and I think this movie's gonna end up being really cool. I think this one's gonna pop in theaters. It's gonna become a surprise. Probably not like doing gangbusters at the box office necessarily, but I think for a DC project, it could be, just as much a surprise as like the Shazam movie was. And I think it could draw in a new audience of superhero movies, and I think people will really like this superhero because I did growing up as a kid, and I can't wait for its own live action movie.
We've had a lot of overlap, and you've got 2 that's not even on my list. Don't even have
Let's
Blue
hear
Beetle because I truly don't care. Um, I
You'll
love our
see.
boy, and I think him being marketed will work well because the show is Cobra Kai so big, especially with the younger
Mm,
audience, that it might
yeah,
work. But man, I could see that movie flopping hard.
I hope
Uh,
not. I think it'll
but
be cool.
I just hope it's good.
Yeah.
My number 5, and I have a feeling Kyle's gonna have this higher, or maybe it doesn't make the list, which
Mhm.
would be shocking. But I have Barbie because I freaking am pumped for Barbie. You had me at Greta Gerwig.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you're gonna put Margot Robbie, Ryan Reynolds. You're gonna put all the people I love in here. Boy, Shang-Chi's in there. I love everything going on with this Barbie movie. I am pumped for it. I have it at number 5, and it's only because I'm really excited for the other 4. They're just slightly edging it out, but these 1 through 5 are tough for me. My 1 and 2 might be 1A, 1B for me,
Mm.
but anyway, what do you got at number 5?
My number 5 is the next Mission Impossible movie. I think it's called Dead Reckoning. I'm trying to look at the
I
title,
literally
but
just
it's
told
in
you what
small
it was
letters.
a minute ago. It's Mission Impossible Dead
Completely
Reckoning Part
forgot.
1.
I don't
Yes,
even know
it's a
what your
part
list
oneer.
is. Haven't been
You
paying
hate
attention
me.
to you.
Sad day.
um, well,
Sad day at the
whatever
office.
Alex said, I probably echoed the same thing. When it comes to Mission Impossible, the stunts just get better, the stakes get higher. Tom Cruise just has lots of love and care for making spectacles out of a movie going experience, obviously. I'm not going to doubt it when it comes to this one, but after seeing Top Gun Maverick this year, I'm really excited for him to come back to theaters and give me another spectacle event.
Tom Cruise goes up to safety guy, says, "Hey, I want to do this stunt." Safety guy says, "You can't do that." He gets a new safety guy. That's the type of commitment we get from Tommy Boy there. But my number
Appreciate it.
4 is Ant-Man Quantumania.
Mm,
And I am very excited for this. As somebody who thinks Marvel has not, I don't think they've struggled in the way that everybody else, a lot of people have, but I think that they have taken a little bit of a rebuild year to get ready for the next big threat, which makes sense. But I think Ant-Man Quantumania might be that movie that pushes us truly over the edge for what's coming with Kang being the big bad. And I am very excited for Jonathan Majors with everything he's doing, so I'm pumped for that. What do you have at number 4?
Dune Part 2. I really loved
Too
the
low.
first Dune movie.
That's bad.
Um,
Low.
this
Low.
I knew that was
Low.
another one that was gonna be low
Low.
for
I
you.
already know you're number 1. I knew it going in. But
I'm very curious about that. Um, but anyway, Dune Part 2, I'm really excited for continuing on with this new sci-fi franchise. I'm glad that we're kind of getting more um mainstream sci-fi back into theaters for one thing, but also I just love the cast. I love the world that Denis Villeneuve is envisioning. I love him as a director and a writer. I thought he nailed it when it came to the first Dune movie, though I haven't read the books. I just think with the vision worked so well. I'm expecting the same to happen, but I'm still anticipating it.
my number 3 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It's a top
Mm,
3, and I have it a little lower because I think it's going to be tough because I think the first one's a 10 out of 10, incredible movie. It's amazing. Everything they do, to the frame rates, everything is beautiful. It's the most beautiful movie I've seen in animation since a Miyazaki movie. I think Spider Verse might just not quite get there. Even if it's incredible, it might not be all time for me, but I am just super pumped. See what they can do with this. I love this Across the Spider Verse idea that we're going with. The trailers look awesome, so I am hyped for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. What's your number 3?
Number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Shill.
James
Marvel shill.
Gunn, I try James Gunn, I'm trusting when it comes to this franchise and these characters. I'm really glad that he's able to close out his Guardians trilogy, and I'm curious about how the arc for these characters ties together, whether it's going to be them separating or whether they keep going to another adventure, maybe just without James Gunn. But I love the first movie. I unabashedly love the second movie, and I just feel like the third movie can be a really special event to see in theaters.
I agree. My number 2, I think, might be Kyle's number 1. My number
What is it?
2 is Oppenheimer by Chris
Okay.
Nolan. I am so excited to see him recreate the bomb without
Mhm.
CGI. Everything
Yeah.
Nolan touches is usually gold here. I am so pumped. The trailers have me hyped. And one of the things I'm more excited about than anything is Cillian Murphy finally really getting the big budget, here's your lead guy, and all these other insane people that I think the common goer would be like, they would think he'd be the lead in this movie, like, like an RDJ's in it and stuff like that. But I think Cillian Murphy has just been sitting there amazing. He's in a very popular show with Peaky Blinders, and I am hyped for everything about Nolan doing another war style movie here, telling this story. I can't wait. What's your number 2?
I'm echoing what you said. Number 2 for me is Oppenheimer.
Wow. Isn't it Oppenheimer?
Oppenheimer, Oppenheimer. I've heard it both ways. Tomato,
Wow. So now
potato.
I have no Oh my god, I know what his number 1 is now. Wow. Wow. Okay.
You want to say your number 2
We have
or
an
your number 1?
overlap. We have an overlap. I love it. We know we always have to have an overlap.
Of course.
My number 1 is Dune Part 2.
Mm.
I think there is an argument to be made that Denis Villeneuve is the best director working today. Yes, Quentin Tarantino fans, Christopher Nolan fans, wackadoodles. I think there's an argument to be made. Am I
Others.
making it? No, but I think there's an argument to be made. The first Dune is one of the best sci-fi movies ever made. He constantly pumps out just incredible, incredible movies. I adore Dune 1, so I am hyped for Dune 2. I think Dune 1 was my number 1 movie of last year, if I remember right. So I cannot wait for Dune Part 2 and adding Florence Pugh, adding all these actors. It's just going to be incredible. As somebody who read the book, doing the second half of the book, I am so excited for Dune Chapter 2 or Part 2. So what's your number 1?
My number 1 is Indiana Jones and the Dial of
Oh,
Destiny.
and I'm very off. What are my guesses? Anyway, Indiana Jones. Wow, you're that hyped for Indy. You must have recently just watched the movies or something, because what are you talking about?
Well, I
What?
watch the movies every year, of course, but I'm just curious about
Wow.
how it's going to be in the hands of James Mangold as opposed to it being in the hands of Steven Spielberg for one thing. I will admit
Being
part of it is
nasty.
nostalgia. Like I can't deny that it
Do
is
love
going to be
Indy.
exciting to see Harrison Ford back as Indiana Jones. And I just a lot of this is mainly just my hope that this movie is going to be good, and that also is part of my anticipation of it. It's the movie that I'm anticipating the most, but also just the most curious about if it's going to stick the landing. I hope it does. I hope this movie's going to be great and it's going to be a ton of fun. Um, but you never know. Maybe time has passed, or maybe it's just a movie that doesn't work. But this is just one of my favorite
I'm excited.
franchises, one of my favorite characters in movies, and I have to support it on that level. So that's my number
My
1.
number 10, Kyle's number 1.
Yeah.
Insane in the membrane. All right, guys, what do you think of our most anticipated movies of the year? Comment below, let us know. Remember to like, subscribe, share. And as always, thanks for watching, Mom.
See you guys.